Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Smith. I can be found everywhere as well for pearls on Instagram, Ravelry, and I am the creator behind Woolen Spinning. Woolen Spinning is a podcast on YouTube. It's currently devoted to all things knitting, spinning, and weaving with your hand spun. So making your yarns, whether you're creating from raw fiber or if you're working from commercially prepped fiber, it doesn't matter. It's all things hand spinning and related to knitting and weaving afterwards. So my process often involves going from raw fiber all the way through to a finished item. The Patreon campaign is everything that goes on behind the scenes. It's all of the content that I create for those who are looking for a more in-depth conversation around spinning and everything to do with hand spun. So I thought that one of the really helpful things about having a welcome video on Patreon is to give you a taste of what goes on behind the scenes and what you can expect if you were to subscribe. Each month I release content that helps individual spinners take their process and yarns deeper. I share with you the yarns that I'm making, sharing my own reflections and ideas, as well as sharing with you my process for creating these yarns. So at the very bottom end, there's some fibers that are 2.5 inches, and at the very top end, there were some fibers that were 8.5 to 9 inches. That is a huge difference. So where do you put your hands? How far apart do you draft? I kept my hands very far apart for this spin. I think my hands were probably between 5 and 7 inches apart. I kept my twist very low because I've got long staples. Teaching others and sharing my knowledge is incredibly important to me. Woolen Spinning offers that bi-monthly check-in to share with you my learning and reflections. And the content here offers me the opportunity to go deeper and share the nuances that we just don't have time for in the podcast and the live stream. Woolen Spinning Radio in particular is a chance to have many conversations with my dear friend Katrina, as well as members of the community about their spinning and making processes. I have welcomed makers from the larger community onto the show to share their spinning process with the community, and these conversations help to move the craft of spinning forward as we push the boundaries around making yarn and fostering our love for all things spinning fiber.
It's great to be able to pull 3 braids from your fiber stash and just spin them together and see what you get. What I found is that you get a slightly more harmonious yarn at the end if there's a link between the braids. It doesn't have to be a big link. And so I'll start with Fractured Dawn. And the reason that I decided to put white into the fiber is that I personally really like what happens when you spin a braid that has some white in it. Mm-hmm. You get these intense hits of color followed by some pastel-y colors.
Mm-hmm. How I Spin started off as an outlet for me to share exactly how I made some of my more complicated yarns. But over time, it has become a reflective conversational essay that shares the intricacies of making specific yarns. There are 3-month overarching themes that inform the yarns that I make and share with you. From textured yarns to plant-based fibers to wool, the variety is unlimited. While How I Spin is accompanied by a PDF download, there is also a monthly How I Spin vlog that discusses aspects of the yarns we just don't cover in the live streams. We go deep, we learn and reflect on what worked and didn't work, and we push our skills to the next level. Whereas in this study with these yarns, you don't have to be quite so concerned about that because you have a repeated colorway. And that's one of the biggest differences between a true space dyed like we did last year and a yarn like this that has a pattern to it, that has a very specific length of color and a specific length of white that's left. The community exists not only in the Ravelry group, but also on the mobile-friendly Slack channel. You will receive an email to your personal inbox inviting you to join us. The richness of conversation has added to my experience as a spinner, growing my own skills and learning from others. I hope that no matter what you decide, it means the world to me that you checked out this video, that you checked out the Patreon page, that you looked at the blog. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. That's for everybody. It's free of charge. It just keeps you up to date on what's going on here in the community. And in the meantime, happy spinning.